All right, so we're going to continue with our unit circle. Okay, we talked about the degrees and radians yesterday, and then we did quadrant one. So something just in general that I want us to think about for a minute. When you do...
What?
Whatever.
Are you still mad at me?
No.
Oh, okay.
What?
When
You
you
thought I was mad?
are looking in quadrants, okay, I want us to talk about what the x values are and what the y values are in terms of positive and negative. So in quadrant one, x is positive and y is positive. So it's positive, positive. Okay?
Can you reiterate what you just said?
Yeah, so in quadrant one, okay, x values are positive and y values are positive. Here, I'm going to actually make this a little smaller because I am going to be writing one more thing beside each of these. So, positive, positive.
Is this something we need to write on the...
No, it's not one of the things that's going to be, yeah, it's just going to help you.
Okay.
Normally I do this in like an actual like set of notes when we're like going through problems, but I think it actually would be easier if you see it now before we continue on with everything. All right, so then I always get confused. I think this is quadrant two over here. Yeah, it is. Okay, so in quadrant two, I always say them backwards. I know where quadrant one and quadrant three are, but two and four, I'm like,
Which way
backwards
does it
or
go?
this way. Anyway, pretty sure it's backwards. I always want to say it's down here, but it's up. Well, even if it's not, we're going to say it's up here. Okay, so over here, what's true about our x values and our y values?
Negative x, positive y.
Negative x and positive y.
Oh, I wrote Y instead of
All right, down in quadrant three, what's true about x and y?
Negative.
Okay, negative x and negative y. Okay, and then down here in quadrant, we're going to, what? Regardless if it's 4 or not, we're calling it 4. What is the x and the y values here?
Positive, negative.
Okay, positive x, negative y. Okay, so I'm going to go through now and do the ones that actually are listed to be pi over 6s. Okay, so the one that's 30 degrees, pi over 6. Obviously, yesterday we talked about counting it, that the pi over 3 is really 2 pi over 6, right? But I'm going to do the ones that are specifically a pi over 6, and I'm going to show you what's happening to them. Okay, so same principle. Okay, draw the line down, draw it across. Okay, I'm just going to show you with this one, okay, that it's still true. Okay, would you still agree that my y value is 1/2 and that my x value is still root 3 over 2, or about 0.866?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I'm going to get rid of those lines so that's not confusing. Okay, so now the only thing that's different, or let's see, I guess that's supposed to be kind of a, is this the right blue? Yeah, it is, okay. If you still need your colors, if you didn't get them, feel free to come grab them. Okay, so I take it, okay, I'm going to just, I know that if you're just watching a video, you can't see this, but I'm going to take my hand and it's going to literally just flip over. So these values come over here. So it's still the square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. But what happens to the signs on them?
Negative.
Okay.
X value.
The x value becomes negative.
The negative.
Okay? X value is negative. I don't know why that's so blurry on that screen for y'all. Trying to make it better. That might help a little bit. Okay. I'm going to throw this back over to this side for a minute while we're on this side. All right. So then let's go ahead. We're going to stick with the pi over 6s. So we're going to drop down to quadrant 3. Okay. So we were here. We flipped. We flipped here. Okay. And now I'm going to flip down. Okay. So my pi over 6, my 7 pi over 6, same numbers. Okay.
Oh.
Still the square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. But what happens to the signs on these ones? Whoa, the lighting is really bad. They're both negative.
Okay, the hand thing is starting to make sense.
Okay, so it goes
So it's
from
there,
That.
flip down,
And then that.
and then flip back.
It's a 2, not a 3.
Okay. That.
Okay? So it's negative. I just here, let me see if I can, there you go. Just for a second, since it's hard to see with the colors on the screen for some reason today. Okay, so at 7 pi over 6, it's negative root 3 over 2 and negative 1/2. Okay?
Beautiful.
I feel like it's clicking
It's
for you.
working.
All right, so then we keep going around the next pi over 6. Okay, so we were here. I'm sitting too far over from the iPad, so I have to like keep sliding. Okay, here, we flip down, and then I'm gonna flip back. Okay, so my pointer finger all the way around lines up with my pi over 6's. Okay, so over here at 11 pi over 6, I'm still at the square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2. But what are the signs on them?
Y is negative.
Y is negative now. So it's the square root of 3 over 2 and negative 1/2.
Pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
So much. Commandment.
All right, so I'm going to do the pi over 3's now. Okay, so up here, okay, my ring finger, pi over 3, it's 1/2 and root 3 over 2. So when I flip over, my ring finger lines up with 2 pi over 3. So it's still 1/2 and root 3 over 2. Okay, but what's true about the signs for these ones?
X is negative.
X is negative, so that's going to be negative 1/2 and root 3 over 2.
Easy. What's gonna do the rest?
Okay, so then, okay, I'm here, I'm over, drop down, okay, ring finger lines up with 4 pi over 3, so my values are still 1/2 and root 3 over 2. What's true about the signs on these
They're
ones?
both negative.
Both are negative, so I have negative 1/2 and negative root 3 over 2. Since that quadrant is harder to see on the screen for y'all, I'll zoom it in. I think it's because when I took the picture, this part of the circle got the bigger shadow, so it's harder to see the stuff on it. Bless you.
Negative.
Because I'm tired.
I love my erasing pens.
You're a racial
I'm glad you left it.
All right, so we were here,
What's it?
here, flip down,
Wait.
and now we're flipping back. So at 5 pi over 3, I'm still 1/2 and root 3 over 2. Signs are what?
-1, positive.
Okay, so positive 1/2 and negative root 3 over 2.
I don't know if it's not like
Well, it's not allowed.
you're not the creator of math.
All right, so then now all we have left are the pi over 4's. Okay, so let's see, I think that was orange. So at pi over 4, this one's the easiest one. It's root 2 over 2 and root 2 over 2. Okay, so that's my middle finger. Okay, so take it, flip it. So at 3 pi over 4, root 2 over 2.
None of this
Whoa.
makes me
Oh dear.
happy.
What we do this time?
Think I just highlighted everything. Okay, root 2 over 2 and root 2 over 2. Okay, x is negative, y is positive, so it's negative root 2 over 2 and then positive root 2 over 2. So again, here, flip, down. Okay, so at 5 pi over 4, I'm still at root 2 over 2 and root 2 over 2. Both are negative down here. Both are negative at 5 pi over 4.
No, it's really not. That's hard.
And then from there, you flip it back over at 7 pi over 4. It is root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2, and then this time the y is negative, so it's positive root 2 over 2, then negative root 2 over 2. Okay, So at this point, maybe you think, well, now I'm done. False information. We're not done. Okay? X values are associated with cosine. Y values are associated with sine. Okay? So what value are we missing? Tangent.
Of course we are.
Tangent is y over x.
What do you do?
Okay? So our tangent values are going to be the y value divided by the x value. Okay? So let me see if I can. This is pulling up pre-cal, so just give me a quick second. Yes, it does.
My mom has 38,000.
All right, so just some quick information here, just so you can see it. You can write it on like the back of your unit circle side of it, something, I don't care. But, okay, I'm just going to draw off this quadrant real quick on the unit circle. Okay, so we've got 30, 45, 60. Okay, so I have root 3 over 2 and 1/2, root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2. And I've got 1/2 and root 3 over 2. So to find my tangent values, okay, all I'm going to do is tangent is equal to y over x. So for the one that's at 30 degrees, okay, so the 30-degree one, y is 1/2 divided by the square root of 3 over 2. If you divide by a fraction, it's the same as doing what?
Multiplying by its inverse.
Okay, yeah, multiply by the reciprocal of it. Okay, so this is going to now be 1/2 times 2 over the square root of 3. 2's cancel, leaving you with 1 over the square root of 3. We can't leave radicals on the bottom. So we multiply by root 3 over root 3, so we're left with root 3 over 3. Okay, so the tangent value is going to be root 3 over 3. Okay, I'm going to write them all in here, and then we'll go copy them over onto the actual unit circle, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so then for the 45-degree one, okay, that one is going to be root 2 over 2 over root 2 over 2. So, multiplying by the reciprocal, I've got root 2 over 2 times 2 over root 2. Everything cancels, leaving you with 1. So the tangent of 45 is 1. Okay. And then lastly for 60, okay, we have the square root of 3 over 2 all over 1/2, or root 3 over 2 times 2 over 1. 2's cancel, leaving you with root 3. Okay, so the tangent of 60 is the square root of 3. Okay, now again, because the values are the same all the way around, okay, those just copy over. Those also follow your fingers all the way around as you go around and you flip it. Okay? The difference that we have to pay attention to with these is the sign of them. Okay? Not the S-I-N-E, the S-I-G-N of them. Okay? Sometimes that confuses people. So, let's go back over here to my unit circle, and I'm going to copy these values over, and then we'll talk about the sign as to what's happening. Let's see. What color have I not used? Pink?
Oh, enough of pink.
You know what?
Enough
Stop,
pink.
stop being haters.
Okay.
Hater, just
So, I'm going to throw this over here for a second. So, we said that at pi over 6, my tangent value is root 3 over 3. At root 2, or at 45, it is 1. And at 60, it is root 3.
I love this color.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Because I'm high.
Bless you. All right, so again, you take the values, flip them over, okay? So my pi over 3, it still gets the root 3. 3 pi over 4, or the pi over 4s all are 1. Pi over 6s are all root 3 over 3. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and copy all the numbers down, and then we'll talk about the signs that go on them. Okay, so down here at the pi over 6, it's still root 3 over 3. Pi over 4s are always 1. Pi over 3s are always root 3. Pi over 3 is root 3. Pi over 4s are 1. Pi over 6s are root 3 over 3. Now, I told you that tangent values are y over x. So I'm going to do the same thing with the signs of them. Okay? So y over x in quadrant 1 is a positive over a positive, meaning the result is positive. Okay? So positive divided by positive is going to give you positive. So those stay positive. Okay? Over here in this one, y over x is positive over negative. What does that give you? Negative. So my tangent values are all negative here. Here, move that. Okay, those are all negative. I come down to the bottom. Y over x is negative over negative, meaning they're what?
Positive.
Those are all positive, okay? I come over here. Negative over positive is negative. So those are all negative. Okay? See that? Makes sense?
Yes.
Or at least sort of kind of starting to. Okay? So again, if you can memorize that one quadrant, okay, it goes all the way around. Now, let me look at something really quick. We haven't talked about the tangent on the different axes, right? So, the tangent of 0, okay, at 0 degrees, y over x is 0 over 1, which is what?
0.
0. Okay? The tangent at 90 is 1 over 0, which is
1.
No. 0. Nothing.
what happens if you divide by
Oh,
0?
it's a non-existent.
It's undefined. Okay? So on the x-axis, our tangent is 0. On the y-axis, our tangents are undefined. Okay? So
So let's write that.
this is 0, undefined. I don't think that I require you to put the axis ones on your quiz. I can't remember. I'll have to look at my quiz and see my copy of it. Okay. But anyways, I'll let you know before that. Typically what I do is I'll do a unit circle quiz that is just degrees, radians, and then the x and y values. And then typically I'll do another one that also has the tangent values, just depending on how things are going. Sometimes I will also do a practice quiz sometime before the first quiz. And if you do well enough, you don't have to take the second one. But if you, basically what I do is, if you choose to take it the second time and you don't do better, I take whichever one's better. I don't put the grades in twice. So, anyways. So yeah, so that's your unit circle. You now have everything that you have to memorize. Probably ballpark next Tuesday or Wednesday, we'd be looking at taking a quiz on this. Okay, on the unit circle. So that's sometime before that. Usually I don't tell you when it's going to be. Because usually I'll do it like a day or two before. So if the quiz is Wednesday, then probably Monday or Tuesday, we would do a practice quiz of some sort, where you can see what you know. So you can see if you've been studying or if you understood it along the way.
Or if you don't
I have extra copies somewhere in here. I brought back a whole stack of like 30 yesterday. If you want to take like 1 or 2 home now to practice so that you can, I mean, if you want to practice tonight, that's fine. But if not, then this weekend you want to start practicing, you can do that. You can make more copies. If you need more copies, you can let me know. But this is all the stuff that you need to know. Okay? If you can do this, you will be successful in trig. If you understand, not necessarily understand the unit circle, but if you know the values on the unit circle, okay, then you'll be successful. The other thing I'll tell you is for chapter 13, I will never provide you with a unit circle for a quiz or a test. But typically what I'll do is I will provide you with a blank one. Okay, like so when you get your quiz on the sections that you would need it for, the way I do it is I'll provide you with a blank one. You can fill it out. You come up to me. I'll check it. Okay? I'll check it for you. For every quadrant that you get correct, you get a bonus point. Okay, so you could get 4 bonus points on your quiz and 4 on your test. If you're missing something, okay, I'll fix it. But that's not just an out. If you don't know anything on it, I'm not just going to give you one. Okay, because for one, I know it. I don't need to fill in everything. In theory, by that point, you'll have taken your unit circle quiz. You should know what you know and what you don't know. Chapter 13, that's how we roll. Okay, chapter 14, I provide you with a unit circle. Okay, I will give you a laminated copy like this of a unit circle, color-coded and everything. Okay, and I will have these in class so that you can use them as we're going through chapter 14 if you want to use the one that you'd be using on your test. Okay. But anyways, so that's where we're at with that. Any questions about the unit circle? At least starting to kind of make sense.
Who created this?
I honestly have no idea.
Why did they
They
create
didn't want to
it?
be known.
Kind of
because
like
it's,
probably
you know,
a guide to help